Today is August 29th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today at the Big Book, we are going to finish up Chapter 4, We Agnostics, by reading page 48. And now the 12 and 12, we're going to be reading a little bit more about Step 7 by reading the second half of page 74. And we'll be reading today's daily reflection in 24 hours a day. So with that, hope you all are doing well today, my friends. We've been given a brand new set of 24 hours once again. Clean slate, and we are alive today. That is always a good thing. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. So I apologize to you. I don't know why I said we were finishing up We Agnostics. We still got a few pages left. I might be thinking of the 12 and 12. But we are on the bottom of page 47, and we're going to be reading 48 as well. Besides a seeming inability to accept much on faith, we often found ourselves handicapped by obstinacy, sensitiveness, and unreasoning prejudice. Many of us have been so touchy that even casual reference to spiritual things made us bristle with antagonism. This sort of thinking had to be abandoned. Though some of us resisted, we found no great difficulty in casting aside such feelings. Faced with alcoholic destruction, we soon became as open-minded on spiritual matters as we had tried to be on other questions. In this respect, alcohol was a great persuader. It finally beat us into a state of reasonableness. Sometimes this was a tedious process. We hope no one else will be prejudiced for as long as some of us were. The reader may still ask why he should believe in a power greater than himself. We think there are good reasons. Let us have a look at some of them. The practical individual of today is a stickler for facts and results. Nevertheless, the 20th century readily accepts theories of all kinds, provided they are firmly grounded in fact. We have numerous theories, for example, about electricity. Everybody believes them without murmur of doubt. Why this ready acceptance? Simply because it is impossible to explain what we see, feel, direct, and use without a reasonable assumption as a starting point. Everybody nowadays believes in scores of assumptions for which there is good evidence, but no perfect visual proof. Does not science demonstrate that visual proof is the weakest proof? It is being constantly revealed, as mankind studies the material world, that outward appearances are not inward reality at all. Out of the 12 and 12 runs, Step 7, humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. And today we are going to finish off page 74, and once again, nope, we're not finishing off this chapter. I don't know where I got that idea, but that's okay. So again, we're going to read the second half, page 74. Our eyes begin to open to the immense values which have come straight out of the painful ego puncturing. Until now, our lives have been largely devoted to running from pain and problems. We fled from them as from a plague. We never wanted to deal with the fact of suffering. Escape via the bottle was always our solution. Character building through suffering might be all right for saints, but it certainly didn't appeal to us. Daily Reflection, August 29th. I choose anonymity. We are sure that humility, expressed by anonymity, is the greatest safeguard that Alcoholics Anonymous can ever have. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 187. Since there are no rules in AA, I place myself where I want to be, and I so choose anonymity. I want my God to use me humbly as one of His tools in this program. Sacrifices the art of giving myself freely, allowing humility to replace my ego. With sobriety, I suppress that urge to cry out to the world, I am a member of AA, and I experience inner joy and peace. I let people see changes in me and hope that they will ask what happened to me. I place the principles of spirituality ahead of judging, fault-finding, and criticism. I want love and caring in my group so I can grow. "24 hours a day, August 29th. AA thought for the day. We cannot get along without prayer and meditation. On awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. We consider our plans for the day. Before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking. Our thought lives will be placed on a much higher plane when we start the day with prayer and meditation. We conclude this period of meditation with prayer that we will be shown through the day what our next step is to be. The basis of all prayer is, Thy will be done in me and through me today. Am I sincere in my desire to do God's will today? Meditation for the day. Breathe in the inspiration of goodness and truth. It is the spirit of honesty, purity, unselfishness, and love. It is readily available if we are willing to accept it wholeheartedly. God has given us two things, His Spirit and the power of choice, to accept or not as we will. We have the gift of free will. When we choose the path of selfishness and greed and pride, we are refusing to accept God's Spirit. When we choose the path of love and service, we accept God's Spirit, and it flows into us and makes all things new. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may choose the right way. I pray that I may try to follow it to the end. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. Really like the 24 hours a day, and of course the lines from the big book about, when we consider our plans for the day, just the 24 hours that we've been given. But before we do anything, before we make that little checklist, I love this. Before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking. Our thought lives will be placed on a much higher plane when we start the day with prayer and meditation. We conclude this period of meditation with a prayer that we will be shown through the day what our next step is to be, just the next one. I love that. With the sincere desire to do His will rather than our own. It's not about me anymore. And honestly, when I thought it was about me and I was trying to do all these things to appease my ego, it was exhausting. And things never exactly worked out like I hoped they would. However, when I put myself aside and go, your will be done, somehow I start caring more about others. I don't get as overwhelmed about the future or have so much regret about the past. I'm just focusing on today and carrying out my higher power's will, whatever that might be, whether it's a gentle nudge to be kind to this person or help this person out. To be aware of those around me and be aware when I'm starting to get a little stressed out and to do what I can do to readjust spiritually. But just being conscious of the obstacles throughout the day and knowing what to do when facing those. It's truly life-changing. It's truly life-changing when I just try to carry out my higher power's will. But with that, my friends, we're coming up on it. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining me in this Lifeboat of Recovery. As always, I don't speak on behalf of AA or NA or Al-Anon, any other sect, denomination, or organization. I'm just a friend that loves these books here. And if we are given another set of 24 hours, my friends, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.